Today, I'm back with another physical media collection video for you all. Today, I'm going to be showing you all my wacky titles in my movie collection. I was just on a live stream about a week or so ago with Movies with Ryan and an awesome panel of other movie YouTubers where we shouted out awesome, weird, and strange titles, gave some great recommendations. So if you missed that live stream, you're going to want to check out that video after this one, of course. But I did forget to give some details on some of these titles in that live stream, which is why I'm going over this topic here on my channel. I just want to give you some more in-depth thoughts as I go through these recommendations. So let's get right into it. Starting with one of my favorite movies of the year. You gotta check out Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you have not seen this movie is absolutely amazing. It's an A24 title. It is so wacky and bizarre. It has so many genres mixed in. Comedy, action, romance, but at the end of the day, it's a family drama. But there's so many weird and bizarre moments and scenes in here, but somehow it just works. It does the multiverse perfectly with all the sci-fi elements. This movie could have totally fallen apart, but it doesn't. It packs such an emotional punch towards the end of the movie. It will get you teary-eyed. It is so good. So you take away all the bizarre, weird elements of this movie, and it still works as a good family drama movie. Very entertaining from start to finish. And so I can highly recommend this one. This is still my second favorite movie of the year, right behind Top Gun Maverick. To me, this is more mainstream weird, and I definitely recommend checking it out. If you still haven't seen it, everybody I talk to mostly loves this movie. Now, there are some people that I've talked to that don't really care for the movie because it does get really bizarre and weird and just doesn't work for some people, and that's totally okay. But I love this movie. You should definitely check it out. I just love the slipcover of the googly eyes. But yeah, an awesome movie. Now to get into another weird title, let's see what's next in the pile. Gonna have to recommend Psycho Gourmet. Yes, this is very low budget, kind of sci-fi, gory. Think of like an adult Power Ranger kind of movie, because there's definitely a lot of blood and gore in here, but I wouldn't say it's a horror movie. It kind of plays like a Disney Channel movie, but with blood and gore. So it's definitely an adult movie, but it gives you that feel of like Power Rangers too, because of all the monster and creature designs. It's just an interesting title, very bizarre, but Psycho Gourmet is great in it. PG for short. The kids do a good job acting in this movie, especially the kid actress. She is hilarious in this one. So a very fun, weird story, but it's awesome. It is so awesome, even though the moments are so weird, and oh my goodness, it's just a good time. They play a game in here called Crazy Ball, which is like a really weird form of dodgeball they do. It's so random, but it's very funny, very entertaining, very unique kind of movie. I can highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of gory movies or of like Power Ranger kind of style movies. So really awesome. I really like this title, and I love the slipcover with it. Very, very nice. Yeah, so I really like that one. Next, gonna have to recommend this one as well. Sorry to Bother You. I mean, you can look at the captions on the front to really get an idea. A Get Out on Acid. Yeah, very bizarre movie, and the trailers did not do this one justice. The trailers made this seem kind of just like a low-budget comedy movie, but no, it definitely gets into some depths and layers in here I was not expecting. Yeah, the first couple thirds of this movie, it does kind of play like a weird, quirky comedy with some interesting, bizarre visuals in there. But by the time it gets to the last third of this movie, wow, this movie just goes off the rails into strange territory. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything because it will shock you. It will absolutely shock you what this movie turns into. But it definitely brings up a lot of societal issues. And so definitely can still, relate to today what's going on. So I highly recommend checking this one out if you are a fan of movies like Get Out. Like if you're a fan of Jordan Peele, even though this one isn't done by Jordan Peele, kind of a similar style. Definitely a little bizarre, wacky, but brings up societal issues. It's that kind of movie. So highly recommend this one. And if you do start playing it, definitely finish it, because I tell you, it does a 360-degree turn and changes into a way different kind of movie towards the end. So yeah, and like I said, the trailer doesn't do it justice. It's a way different kind of movie, but check it out if you want something a little bit different. But yeah, I did enjoy that one for the most part. Next, because I'm a big superhero fan, I always got to recommend a comic book title or two out there. This is definitely one I'm going to recommend here. I'm going to have to recommend Howard the Duck. Yeah, this is a Marvel movie from the 80s. It is so weird how this movie starts in Duck World. I mean, you see, I guess you could say some duck nudity. It's weird. It's bizarre how this movie starts off. But Howard the Duck gets transported to, you know, the human world, and he starts to fall in love with a human, and it's just weird. So it's a Marvel comic book movie, but yeah, not like a Captain America movie, I guess you could say. It's definitely not an Avengers movie. It's something a little bit bizarre, but Howard the Duck is hilarious in it. He's just a quirky little character, fast talking duck. And so yeah, it's kind of a fun movie, really cheesy moments. If you like 80s style cheese, you're gonna like Howard the Duck. Definitely would check this one out if you like 80s movies or comic book movies, just to have something a little bit different. And once again, it is a Marvel movie, so Howard the Duck can say that about itself. But yeah, like having that 4K, looks really good on the 4K quality too. You can get the 4K cheap, I recommend it. Very, very nice. Next, another random bizarre title here. I'm gonna have to pull out Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. This is the Mill Creek VCR looking case. I do like this slip cover right here. Very nice. But yeah, this is such a random Sylvester Stallone movie. You got a Golden Girl in here as his mom. And wow, it's just so random. I don't even know how to describe this movie. I guess it's like an action comedy buddy cop, because, you know, him and his mom work together on a case, I guess you could say. But yeah, interesting premise for a buddy cop movie. Stallone and his mom character. Yeah, so weird, so random. Kind of a fun movie. Not my favorite movie in the world. Definitely a lot better buddy cop movies out there. But if you want something a little bit different for a buddy cop movie, then check out Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, starring Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, that one kind of cracks me up once in a while. All right, next for my horror fans out there. Now, I wasn't a massive fan of this movie, but I know some people love it, so I'm going to recommend it anyway. Mandy, I totally picked this one up just for the awesome looking steelbook. I love the cover art. I love the blues, reds, pinks. To me, this steelbook just stood out. I got it for a good price. Now, I didn't end up loving the movie. Some people really like this one out there. I didn't think it was the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's just not one of my favorite Nick Cage movies. So I don't plan on watching this one a whole lot anymore. But it's wacky. And I know Nick Cage has done some wacky movies. This is definitely under the wacky Nick Cage category. Basically, Nick Cage's character goes on, I guess, a revenge rampage against a whole bunch of demons. But it's very psychedelic horror. Very trippy colors in the movie. And yeah, when you're watching it, you're just kind of like, whoa, what am I watching? You have to do a double take for a second. But if you like trippy, weird Nick Cage horror movies, then go for it. Check out Mandy. But yeah, I picked it up for the steelbook, and it just wasn't my personal taste, but a lot of people like that one, so I can still recommend it. Next, another movie. Oh, this movie I just really, really like. Drop Dead Fred. This movie is awesome. I totally did a blind buy on this one, and these characters are just so wacky in this movie. You got Rick Mayall, who I believe was a British television actor, and then of course you got Phoebe Cates. So, you know, Phoebe Cates, a great actress. But Drop Dead Fred, very wacky, zany movie. Basically, Rick Mayall is an imaginative friend that, you know, basically Phoebe Cates, I guess, imagines and thinks of as an adult, and he comes back, and yeah, then all sorts of silly shenanigans ensue. So yeah, kind of an intriguing premise for a movie, but it's fun. It's a fun movie, family fun, kind of. Actually, there's some adult humor in this one too, so I don't know if I would say It's completely family friendly. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird because there are some funny adult humor jokes in there that the kids probably won't get. So just depends. But yeah, I really like this movie. Very imaginative and definitely very silly. So yeah, absolutely in the wacky category. Drop Dead Fred. Can't go wrong with that one. All right, next I have another comedy here, but this is a dark comedy. Gonna have Neighbors. This one I can definitely recommend. I just saw this one not too long ago for the first time. You get John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and basically John Belushi has, neighbors end up moving in, like Dan Aykroyd and, the character's wife here, and they move in and they start just causing a whole bunch of shenanigans and havoc towards John Belushi's character, and John Belushi just getting very irritated and annoyed, and these neighbors are just acting so weird and super silly. And like even the wife is trying to, get at John Belushi's character, even though John Belushi is married. And it's just so weird and bizarre. But, it has its funny moments too. And, if you like dark comedy kind of style movies, definitely a wacky kind of movie. Neighbors, it's not too long of a movie either. So I would definitely recommend checking this one out. I thought it was, fairly intriguing for its premise. So yeah, I had a fun time with this one. Neighbors, can't go wrong. And this is the classic Neighbors, of course, right? Not the newer Neighbors movies. Way different. Two different kinds of movies, absolutely. All right, next, we're going to have a Criterion title. 4K of Mulholland Drive. Now, this is a very surreal, dreamlike kind of movie, I guess I would describe it as. It's tough to understand this movie, at least for me. It feels like a lot of scenes just kind of sewn together that doesn't really have like a flowing story path. It's so weird, but there's dark comedy to it. There's satirical moments, references to Hollywood in here. So yeah, it's just a movie that's all over the place. But if you like satire, if you like dark comedy or movies about Hollywood, you're probably going to enjoy this one. I know a lot of people like this one. I think this movie has been studied before quite a few times. Not a movie that's for me personally, but I know some people that really like it. So yeah, it's definitely very interesting filmmaking and very wacky and strange. So I definitely can recommend it. Yeah, definitely check out Mulholland Drive. And the 4K actually does look pretty good that Criterion put out. Tons of special features on that too. All right, next, we got to give another Nick Cage movie. When you bring out the wacky weird list, you may have a couple Nicolas Cage titles on it, or maybe even more. But this is going to be Vampire's Kiss. This movie is just so bizarre. I mean, look at that expression from Nick Cage. I totally blind bought this movie. I just wanted to check out MVD Rewind Collection. I'm like, this is probably a horror movie, a vampire movie. Well, it's a vampire movie, but not a traditional horror movie. It's totally dark comedy. It reminds you of an American Psycho. It's just very silly. There's like no definitive ending. The beginning's kind of weird as well. Like, wait, how does this vampire, enter the picture? It happens so quickly. And there's just bizarre moments in here, just how Nick Cage just starts acting wacky and giving some weird expressions. Like, it's, oh my goodness, bizarre. And it's just a weird story plot in there. I don't know. It's an interesting movie, but I did find myself laughing a little bit in this movie with the dark comedy there. So, you know what? I guess I could recommend this one. Definitely an interesting title to have in the collection. But yep, that's my top wacky titles in my movie collection right now. So definitely let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite wacky, bizarre, strange titles out there? What would be some you would recommend out to the physical media collecting community? Let's get those fun movie discussions going down below. Also, if you want to see any in-depth unboxings or reviews of some of these movies, I actually did a lot of those kinds of videos, so I'll link that in the description as well. Definitely check those out when this video finishes. And if you're just discovering the channel for the very first time and you love collecting physical media and being part of this amazing mega fan community, make sure you subscribe right now to stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics.
Don't make me fight you, I am really good.
And if you like this physical media topic video, click another video to see more. Also, like the video, and this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.